Well, it is 10 minutes to 12 on Tuesday. I alternated between working indoors and outdoors because the sun is finally shining. Oops, I left my porch door open. And actually I have no heat on in here, and it's 65 degrees and it's 51 out already. Quite amazing, fully sunny. But I'm using the sunlight while the sun is shining on my solar panels to work on my computer. And this is the Do-It-Yourself World Forum, which is open to anybody to come on over, and there's the link, www.thediyworld.com/forum, and anybody that would like to share any discussions, any ideas, any suggestions about living off the grid, repairing an RV. I've got alternate energy discussions on here, car and auto projects, battery and battery experiments, electronics, LEDs and LED lighting, off-grid living, solar power discussions, survival discussions, also wild edibles and natural foods, and wild foraging. Anybody that has any knowledge they'd like to share, any suggestions for my off-grid project, this is the forum to use and this is where to go. I just finished up this morning catching up on all comments and getting it up to date, because while I was in Australia I was paying per megabyte for my internet usage and sadly could not use my forum. I am back. I am fully caught up now, and I invite you all to come on over to the forum. Again, www.thediyworld.com/forum. I'll put the link down here in the bottom and also in the description of the video. I always have the forum link on the bottom of all my videos, so please come on over. It is a clean, friendly site it has curse word filters in place, it has spam filters in place, and I own and operate it, so there is no chaos, no drama, and no madness. So it is a clean, family-oriented place for you to discuss anything off the grid and alternate energy and do it yourself. So I hope to see a lot of you there. I do still keep up with comments on my YouTube channel and videos, but the forum is a good place to share photos, images, ideas, diagrams, drawings, and share your experience, because I also learn from you guys. And many people are using this. Last I looked, there are 21,642 members. Obviously not all of them are active. And it's growing. It's growing daily. And I invite you to come over. Hope to see a lot of you guys there, especially those with good ideas. I should get my digital thermometer, the laser thing. There's heat pouring off this black plastic. The solar porch is doing its job. I was just looking inside the RV window, and it is on the porch right now. You can't see in there, but I'm trying to look. It's 67 degrees on the porch right now. 56 in the bedroom. And looking inside the window, or looking inside the RV, it's 66 in the living room and 54 out. So the porch is the warmest part of anything. Isn't that funny? The porch is warmer than my living room and warmer than the outdoor temperature. So the passive solar porch is seriously doing its job, because it heats up the whole side of the RV and insulates it from the outside world. I would definitely call this a success. That's a success in my book, when your whole RV is becoming heated, well, half of it, just from the sun. Now, if I had it to do over again, these panels here are the best. These clear plastic. And the black material actually gets hot, and it heats up the inside of the porch as well. So next time I might even alternate those with those, if I can get more of these. That was waste material from metal roofing. That was the protective sheets on the outside edges of the metal roofing. But if I did it again, this is definitely what I would use, these sheets. They're $30 for a, I think it was a 12-foot sheet, but it is really seriously a good investment, because the sun just pours down into there, and then having a black wall inside, it's amazing. Now, I was just examining my solar panels and the wiring over here. Now, I have two sets of panels up, one over here and one over here, facing the afternoon and evening sun. Now, since I have an MPPT controller, and there's a wire going through all the way back to the RV. It's a long wire. I thankfully found that for free in the forest over here. I have also then an RV wire connecting these two sets of panels together. I think I could actually reduce that wire. I could eliminate that wire by moving this frame over next to this frame. But what I'm going to do today, I finally got the wires dug out that I had left down here. And although it's a thin, small wire, it's not a very good high quality wire. Here's the other. What I'm going to do today is take my other pairs of solar panels, my other 4 panels, and prop them up. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how I did that with the framing. Those boards down there were screwed on to the solar panels to keep them off the ground. And then these ones that are sitting here, resting here, were the adjustable things that I lean them against. The two Joes who were here were helping me with that back in the day. Anyway, I'm going to have a pair of solar panels, or a set of solar panels, facing the morning and noonday sun, and then these guys here facing the afternoon and evening sun. And then I should get a lot more charging here. And they will be connected in parallel with these primary sets of panels, so that the MPPT charger only sees one set actually, and they'll just take the average current from everything and put it together. So that's what I'm about to do now. Cart these panels over here and start hooking this stuff up and get some more power into my RV while the sun is shining, because we're supposed to have a lot of clouds coming up pretty soon here. Problem is connecting these together between sets. The wires are short, awkward. If I stand them up, then they might shade each other, but they'll be easier to connect. I had to figure this out. I won't leave the camera rolling, but the idea is, see, the sun rises over here in the morning and then runs across the sky, there it is at noon, and sets over here at night. So what I've got, when the morning sun is rising here, I'll get morning charging, maximum morning charging. I'm going to have the panels angled like they are right now. So I got maximum morning charging, late morning noonday charging, super top noonday charging because all the panels are in the light. And then as the sun is setting, I'll still get evening charging on those sets. So midday I'm going to have the maximum power and should really start topping off my batteries better now. See, I couldn't do this before because I had to wait till the ground was workable, just to explain, because the wind here is horrible and I have to make sure these things are secured to the ground or they will be lifted up and destroyed. So I also got to take these feet. These were homemade feet, these pallet pieces, to lift the panels off the ground and protect them from the elements a bit better. So I have to do that as well yet. Well, anyway, I'm going to play around and trying to figure out these wires, because connecting plus to minus into here is fine, or plus into here and then minus to plus, but then I have a short wire coming out to an even shorter wire to the next series, so I have to figure out how I'm going to do this yet. So I'll turn off the camera and show you when I figure it out. As much as I can, I put covers over the panels to reduce the spark when I hook this up so I don't hurt my charge controller or anything else, or myself for that matter. And then I shove in the final wire. It should spark. Yes, it sparks. Okay. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to go in and check the charge controller and see what we got before and after. I currently have 15.0 volts, 55 degrees, 344 watts. So I got 23 amps coming in, 344 watts, and in absorption mode, which is good, but the batteries are absolutely not yet topped off. They're just absorbing right now. The light is blinking, which means they're up to voltage, but the problem is, I think due to their cold temperature, they're not taking the voltage on as good as they could, or the current I should say, because at the end of the day they're not usually topped off like they should be. So now I'm going to uncover the panels and come back out and see what we have. Well, nothing changed, so I'm guessing that the charge controller is limiting the current. It is an MPPT charge controller. I'm guessing it's limiting the current to what the batteries will accept at this time, which is disappointing. I thought I'd see a massive increase in charging when I pulled the cover off. Unless my wires, I'm going to double check my connections, because that should not be. There is 1600 watts of solar out there and I'm getting 340 watts in. That shouldn't be. I'm going to recheck my wiring. Okay, the wiring is good. The batteries are in absorption mode and the MPPT controller is doing its job. The old camper is finally topped off as well. Finally, the batteries were discharged and the charge controller couldn't even register a voltage. I'll go show you what's going on in there right now. Now, I'm not sure why the light's blinking, but when I turn on the voltage, it's going up from 13.5 down to 12.8, 12.9. It's fluctuating. So I think what's going on is it's pulse charging the batteries, because when I turn on the light, it flickers and the battery goes down a bit, and that flickering should slow down and stop. Well, it should. It did a minute ago. So I think it's pulse charging the batteries, but in a horrible way. The batteries still probably need some topping off for them to be stabilized. Now I've got my little Bedini going again, finally, and that is charging an old power pack that I brought back from Michigan last year, and hopefully going to bring some life back into that thing. Let's see, that's off light. Light works. Actually, the Bedini motors like incandescent lights. I wonder if that would help it charge any. I'm gonna have to come up here with a voltmeter and experiment. Anyway, my baby Bedini is back to work. Looking good after all this time. Due to severe water damage this winter, I've got both doors open in the old camper, and I'm going to let it air out on the nice warm sunny day we have, and well, air out as much as it can for now. I should open the back windows, all the windows as well. I think I'm gonna open up all the windows, let this poor old thing air out as much as it can, and dry out some of the stuff, because the floor is warped beyond belief. It's worse than ever before. Mice had their way in there as well, and I'm going to start emptying this thing out and gut it to prepare the frame for my tiny home. It's going to be, right now it's an 8-foot wide by 32-foot long trailer. Now, when I build my tiny home, it's going to be 12 foot. So it's going to be 2 foot wider on each side, hanging over the sides of the frame. I might go 10, but I'm going to go between 10 and 12 foot wide, because right now it's 8. And that'll give me a nice sized living space, because honestly 8 foot wide is sort of cramped when you have guests. It's not really that roomy. And I'll go along with the full length of the camper. I was thinking about having a porch on it, but honestly that takes away from living space. So I'm leaning more against that idea now, and I'd like to have a loft over each end, a loft in the back, and a loft in the front, and then a loft in the middle. I think I did say that once before. And I want an open construction all the way through, basically. The bathroom probably will remain in the rear, but the loft will be above that, and the access will be from the main living room, and then there will be one long open space which is easier to heat, and then that loft there, and then this partial loft. It'll come out and over and back with a railing, so you can sort of hang out up there, and I'll probably have a TV entertainment center up there, all off grid, of course, all off the grid, and all tools and all the equipment used to make this will be off grid and solar powered 100%. Now I'll show you how I got this kick started to recharge my batteries finally. I took my old 45 watt solar panel that I brought back from Michigan last year, along with the 45 watt Harbor Freights. So I've got 80-90 watts going into the old camper batteries right now. So a couple days of that, and that camper will be topped back off, which is going to be transferred to the workshop, the solar powered workshop on wheels, and that will be then my secondary source of solar power, and that's going away. So camper served me well. I got it for free, put some money into it and restored it. I think I only put a couple $100 into it total in supplies, and I lived in it for nearly 2 years. It got me through, but it was in bad shape when I got it, and it's in worse shape now. That winter collapsed that roof, and that's the end. So it will be reborn as a tiny home. Leaving the RV door open to get some of this nice fresh warm air off the porch. Actually, I'm probably going to leave the door propped open on the porch. There's no wind right now. I can show you why, or I'll show you why I have the RV open without fear of losing my baby cat. Because today we have the first warm day where she can come out and play in the sun. Come here, baby cat. Are you happy? Huh? You liking it here, aren't you? She's eating grass and weeds and all kinds of junk. And gonna puke. I don't understand it, but whatever. That's a cat thing. She's having a fun time. Enjoying the outdoors. Now I'm really happy I put those extra solar panels up, because now I have no sun. It's gone. It's going to be raining again soon. And I just rolled up the door of my greenhouse and you can see the moisture inside already from coming out of this dirt. Look at how much is collected in there on those things. That's the advantage of having a greenhouse like that. So I have spent some time yesterday, last night I should say, and I have this beautiful diagram of my greenhouse. Now the idea is I have each 6 sections divided off on here in paper, and then I can write down what goes in each one. So now I have sorted out some of my seeds and I'm going to start planting them. I have to go get a toothpick. I forgot to bring a toothpick over, but I've sorted out, these are just my peppers and my tomatoes. By the way, I'm pretty well hooked up for seeds this year because I got a lot of gifts from people last year. So just for info, I've got plenty of seeds, so I'll be alright as far as that goes. And these are Survival Essentials here. I don't know if you remember the Survival Essentials seed company, but he provided me with a lot of seeds to try out last year. And this year I hope to plant one of every single thing he sent me and see how it turns out. It'll be an interesting garden this year. And he's got a website, heirloomseedsonline.com, just if anybody's interested. He's got good prices. But anyway, let me go get a toothpick so I can set these up. What I've got, or how I do this, I can read fine writing. I've got Marglobe Improved Tomato, and then I've got 6 seeds on the top, on the surface of the thing, and when I'm done positioning them, people advise putting, well, you can see it got dry just sitting in here. People advise putting 2 to 3 seeds per spot here, and then weeding out the weak ones. Well, I don't like wasting seeds, so what I do is I take 6 sections here and put 1 seed in each, and if one doesn't make it, then fine, but I've got 6 healthy plants with no waste of seeds. That's my way of going. So I'm going to continue on filling these all up. It's going to take quite a while, but as you can see, I just took actually a twig instead of a toothpick, and I just set them out clearly so I can see them, and then I poke them in when I'm done. So I'm going to continue filling the rest of these with the tomatoes. I decided to work smart, and I've got a little folding chair and a tray table. I'm going to do my work in so I don't destroy my back bending over the whole time. It's a nice little setup for now. There are 12 sets of tomatoes. I have a double row of beefsteak here, and what I did, actually you can organize it like this and see this matches up with the first bin here, and this is the back wall, which would be this side here. So I'm actually sitting, sorry, camera tripod's hooking on me. I'm sitting here facing the seed starter is facing the same way it's going to slide in. So when I do this, actually I can show you as I do it. I just simply slide this right in place. As it was labeled, it goes in the same position. And then the lid goes on top. Now I do have to get a water sprayer from the dollar store to keep these moist every day, so I'll be making a trip in later to do that, if not today then tomorrow. But that one's ready. I'm just going to keep on going with the rest. Well, I've been sitting here for hours. I've got all of these 3 starter planters ready. I've got this one finished and this one finished. I still have to open that one and set up, and then I still have my salads to do on the bottom. But I sure have a lot of seeds now. I've got here all kinds of stuff. I've got, this is all tomatoes. That one there is all tomatoes. That one's mostly all peppers. I love my tomatoes and peppers. But then I have, on the small one on the top, I started going with numbers, and then on the top right as well, there is a ton of different stuff. I have squash and different cucumbers types and different melon types and different watermelons and everything. Anything and everything that can grow in a garden I've got up in here now. A little bit of each. I don't have the root vegetables. I prefer to do them straight in the ground when it's ready. But these are all the things: broccoli, cauliflower, all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be an interesting year. Now, I'm going to do away with the raised beds this year. They did serve me well, but I'm going to break these down and spread the soil out, because what I'm going to do, it's awkward to maintain the raised beds. See, they fall apart on you occasionally. The wood will rot. Eventually the wood will rot and you'll have to rebuild them all the time. And you have to maintain walkways in between, which is wasted space, I think. All the space in between the beds, and I don't think it looks very nice either. Now, the raised bed idea, there's another one that fell apart when my friends were working on it. The square foot garden idea is good. I like it. I'm going to combine the Back to Eden gardening method with the square foot garden method. So, instead of going with a raised square foot garden bed in rows like this, I'm actually going to have one solid row 4 foot wide all the way down, because I can reach from the inside halfway through in any direction, which is why the 4 foot square garden is recommended, because you can reach in from any direction and reach into the middle easily. Well, I don't need to reach from the sides. To be honest, I can reach from the outside edges in anywhere I want from either side. So I don't need to have these gaps on the end. There's enough space for a raised bed here. And if I have rows of 4 foot wide beds, then I'll have a lot more space for gardening here. And have a mulched walkway in between with thick mulch to keep the weeds out. Now, it takes time to do the Back of Eden method. It takes years to properly set it up. So this year is going to be a tilled garden. I'll have to retill this part here and work this whole section over here. And then at the end of the season, so I'll keep grinding up. I have leaves all over here in this area, and sticks and twigs. I'll keep grinding them up and let them compost, and at the end of the season they'll go all over this garden to protect everything through the winter and to decay and work into the ground. So I think it'll be alright. And that also, the square foot garden method allows you to pack a whole lot more vegetables into a small space. And these end beds were great. Now the ones down here where I had the tomatoes and onions and the peppers, that was stupid, putting something small underneath something big, because the onions never grew. The tomatoes thrived, although some people were skeptical and thought it was a failure. My tomatoes were awesome and did very well. My potatoes did very well. My potato beds were very good. So I like the idea, but I'll have a lot more space. Here was a whole space that was unused. This whole section was unused from the entrance of the garden to give me space to walk around. And you can see from the fence line over, all of this was unused space. So I'll definitely have a better use of my garden, I think, with this new idea, and get a lot more produce. Now my onions, I don't think they're going to be any good. Now here I'm really would like to know what you guys think, what the pros think, but the onions are alive, but they haven't grown a bit. So I don't know if winter harmed them or if I should leave them. I don't know if second year onions, they're everywhere. I don't know if second year onions will grow. There's a bulb. It wants to grow. So I don't know if they'll keep going, if they'll taste good, if they'll be good, or what. But I guess I'll give these guys a chance because they're trying. If worst case, if nothing else, I might just transplant them once I till this whole area and work it under. Over here I had onions. See there, yeah, that one, there's a rotted bulb. It's all mush, but there's green growing. I don't know if it'll grow and grow a bulb or not. It might try. But I've got them trying to come back up. I've also got, believe it or not, wild garlic growing here on its own, which I sure won't complain about. I'm definitely going to try to transplant them. They're coming up all through here. I don't know how or why they're growing, but here's some more. There's some more in the corner. See, the deer have been nibbling on it. Here's some outside. It's probably somehow just grew in. I don't know exactly how that would have happened, but I'll give this a little bit of time to grow and see what comes of it, and then transplant out what lives. Taking a 5 o'clock coffee break. It's still 57 out and 67 in. No heat today inside, and I actually had the windows open. I had to open up the back hatch. I had the bedroom window open to let some air through. I had the back hatch wide open because somehow rainwater got in again with that last rainstorm. It was pretty powerful. And I had the bathroom window open, so I had quite a bit of airflow. Oh, and I had the front door wide open because baby cat was outside enjoying the weather. I had the porch open, so I got some nice fresh air in here today. Well, we got 50% humidity inside, which isn't bad at all. So it brought up the humidity a little bit nicer as well. So it was a good day outside and in. I was just thinking with all the mention I've been doing and talking about tarps, I just want to point out I received some tarps last year in the mail from some people, and these are the good tarps, and these tarps I only use for temporary work outside, and I take care of these, I really do. The tarps that were on the woodpile and around the camper and stuff that blew away were junk tarps that I salvaged out of the forest, and there's actually a bunch of them laying around the woods. I'm still dragging some up. They used to put a new tarp on this every year, and it would get ripped to shreds in the wind. And each year they bought a new tarp, and each year it got ripped to shreds in the wind. And so I just gathered these up, and I use them for, there's one over there that I still have to salvage. That might even be the one I had on the woodpile. I just salvaged these up, all these scrap tarps, and use them for covering up stuff like the woodpile. So just for information, the good tarps, the nice tarps, I keep neatly folded up and put away in storage when not used, which is what I'm doing right here. So I don't remember who sent it, but I am taking care of them, just so you know.